Hello, this is Marat Karudinov. In this video I'm gonna show how to make initial and boundary and nudging conditions for regional runs for users who don't have access to NCAR supercomputer, because NCAR has an extensive dataset collection, including ERA5. So in my other videos on the subject for NCAR users, I showed how to make those datasets using internal NCAR datasets. But if you don't have an NCAR account, you could also make relatively easy the initial and boundary datasets, but it just takes a little bit longer. So let's go through the steps. For ERA5 data, I use Copernicus website, which I find pretty convenient for this purpose. So let's follow using Copernicus website. So for that, you go to your browser and just type Copernicus. Copernicus and ERA5, and then just search. So find some ERA5 data, say hourly ERA5 hourly data on single levels. Single levels means surface, basically data. So let's go there. Then you would need to get an account, register for that website. I already did. That would allow you to download data. So let's assume you've done that. So now basically what you do, this one is already like ERA5 hourly data on single levels. So we go to download data, and here you just select what you want. So you select reanalysis for product type. Now you download various fields, not necessarily for model run itself, but for later comparing to observations kind of thing. So I just like to download some hourly data from ERA5, not such as, for example, 10-meter wind, 2-meter temperature, dew point temperature, and just temperature, surface pressure, sea surface temperature. Then that's what you really need. You need sea surface temperature and skin temperature. Those are required for data sets. Now for comparison, it's nice to download some mean rates, because ERA5 data also contains so-called accumulated fields for radiation and for precipitation. Let's say it's not very convenient sometimes to extract those, and also for surface fluxes. So go to mean rates, and here I have like mean surface direct short wave, mean surface latent heat flux, mean surface sensible heat flux, top of atmosphere long wave radiation flux, short wave radiation flux, mean total precipitation rate, mean surface net short wave and long wave fluxes, and mean surface downward fluxes. So those you use for those fluxes for comparison of results to observations. Now for actually creating data sets themselves, you need some data for snow, such as snow depth and temperature of snow layer. Then you need soil to initialize soil. You need some layer values for soil layers for temperature at 4 different layers, and volumetric soil water for different layers. So basically check all of them. Soil type, I don't need that because I use different industrialization of soil. Also what you need, well, land sea mask, maybe you would need it for comparing to observations for some other statistics. And also total column water vapor, maybe also for comparison. So those are basically it. Now you need to choose year. We're going to simulate as we did for when we generated invariant data sets for regional run. We chose a region of over California or Western United States to simulate atmospheric river over California in 2021, and it happened in 20th, like October 23rd or something like that. So we need October, and we need dates from 21st, October 21st to 27, all included, and we need all hours, so hourly data. So those we would need for comparison and also for initialization of our data sets. Now we don't need whole available region, which is global. We need only our domain that we chose, and we choose the western, eastern boundaries, northern and southern boundaries, just slightly bigger than our actual domain. So when we generate domain or invariant data set, we choose these boundaries to be right outside that domain, so that model or our scripts could interpolate into the grid from this slightly bigger domain. So I chose maybe, as a rule of thumb, maybe 5 degrees bigger than the actual domain size. So after you do that, you choose netcdf format for output, and then you just submit form, and then it will get you will get let's see, I already did that before, so I have already some requests fulfilled. So you see I had 3 requests here. So the one that I just did, it's a single level, it's this data set. So it will be relatively large. So it's a 237 megabyte. So now, so when you press that button, submit, and then you will get this it will be some time before your request is fulfilled. So maybe, I don't know, it could be very quickly, or it could be 1 hour. So there is no way to tell. But eventually, when you get this green button, it means that your data is ready to download. You just click on it, and then it will download to your desktop. And then you will need to rename it. But we will consider that a little bit later. So now let's go to other requests. So you go to datasets or search, and then you type here like ERA5 hourly pressure. So 3-dimensional data sets. We need those for building initial conditions for our atmosphere, and also for nudging data. Nudging data needed to nudge our boundary conditions and also within the domain. So we need hourly data, preferably, over the whole period. So let's just search it. So now you see this ERA5 hourly data on pressure levels. So click on it and click download data. And so here you also you choose reanalysis, and then you need the following 3-dimensional fields. Like you need geopotential, you need specific cloud ice water content, specific humidity, component U component of the wind, V component of wind, vertical velocity, specific cloud liquid water content, and specific rainwater content, and of course temperature. So you select those. Then you select all pressure levels that are available, and then you select your dates as before. So 2021 October, and dates 21 through 27 of October, and you need hourly, so you select all hours. So after that, you also choose your subregion as before, this number that I chose here, and then you select NetCDF, and then you just submit form, and then it will be in a queue for fulfillment. And meanwhile, you can now also go to search. Now we need ozone data, and ozone data I like to use is usually monthly. Not there is no point for ozone to download daily data. It just doesn't make much difference at all. So we have like ERA5 monthly pressure levels. So you see it's ERA5 monthly average data on pressure levels. So you click on it, download data. So now you go monthly average reanalysis. You select, and then you select only two fields: geopotential and ozone mass mixing ratio. Then you choose all pressure levels, and then you select your time period, so year 2021, and then but here you select all months. This is only this is monthly. It's not going to be a large data set. I just scripts work this way. So you select like all months, and select time only, like it's only gives you like one time moment. And also you select sub-region, the same as before, and NetCDF, and then you submit the form. Okay, so if you do that, you go to your requests. So after waiting, you will have something like this. You see that the biggest data set, it's hourly on pressure levels, not surprisingly, 2.7 gigabyte. So those relatively large data sets, but it's okay for your desktop, I guess. I know probably there is some way to download this Copernicus data directly to your computer, not using this web interface, but some other way. Or maybe web interface, but with some request. I used to know how to do that a long time ago, but I used it more for ERA5 data on at European Center, but I forgot about that, and I don't want to research it again. So this is up to you guys how you're gonna do it, but this is the simplest way that I just use here. Okay, so after you did that, then you download the data. There's going to be some very complicated names. Some you just basically rename them after you download the NetCDF files. You rename them. For example, in my case, I renamed them like, let's see, like this. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So I renamed them like this: ERA5 pressure 2027 October 2021 CA, like CA California. This is pressure level for ozone, and this is data set for surface of two-dimensional data. So you see this, and then you can copy those, transfer those files to your supercomputer that you're going to run, because you're not going to run regional run on your desktop. You would require some computing power, especially in this case when you have 3000 by 3000 grid point domain. So I will do that assuming that this is not NCAR computer, but actually it is an NCAR computer. So I will you just SCP or any other transfer to your production computer. So assuming that you did that, so now you go, this is your production computer, let's say, and your model is there. So you go to global data, and here you have your scripts that we use the same directory to build our invariant data sets. So now here what we add, I add here ERA5 symbolic links. So before we added symbolic links for binary and netcdf output directories like ncd and bind. If you don't know that or don't remember, please rewatch the video about creating invariant dataset for regional runs. And and here also I created this symbolic links for ERA5. So if we look at that link, which points to actual directory somewhere that contain all these files that we just requested and downloaded from Copernicus website. So you see, these 3 files. Yeah, some of them big. So now you need first create soil dataset. So you go to, you find the script 2D init soil ERA5 not NCAR. So not NCAR for you're not running on an NCAR computer. So edit it. Here you have what you need to specify is your grid. Basically you use the same suffix or the same grid name that you used when you were creating the invariant data set. So in this case it's 3072 by 3072 for California. So you specify that so that the script would know which invariant data set to load for that particular case. And then you specify your file data this is ERA5, this name of surface file or this single level file that you download from Copernicus website. So it's here, and that's basically it. Those 2 directories are the same as before, and if you want to produce netcdf output to check your data, you can use here as true, and also you specify your initial date when you start. So in this case, in our atmospheric river, we will start on October 21st, so 2021, October 21st at 12 p.m. So we will start it at 12. Why 12? Well, I don't know. Why not? So we start at 12 p.m., which is like basically morning in California, because this one is UTC time. And that's basically all you have to specify: grid, date, and your path to your data file. And then you execute this script. I'm not going to do it because just for the sake of time. So after this finishes, next you need to create snow dataset. So for that you edit this file 2D init snow ERA5 not NCAR, which basically is the same deal as before. You specify grid, then you specify date, the same starting date, October 21st 2021, 12 p.m. and you specify path to your directory, this surfaced directory data that you download from Copernicus, and that's basically it. And you execute and you run this script. This is NCL script, so you need to use NCL command and then you run it. Next one, you need sea surface temperature. You don't need sea ice here. And we didn't download any sea ice data because in that particular region there is no sea ice. So for that you use this make2d evol sst ci ERA5 not NCAR. Here you specify same thing, grid and date. But in this case you need, because sea surface temperature is evolving in time, so you need 2 dates. One is the start, so you start again at your starting date, October 21st, 12 p.m. And end date is going to be October 27, 0, 0z. So this is 2 dates, and then you specify, of course, your path to your Copernicus data set from Copernicus. And here, like, you can specify netcdf out false or true. Remember, model is going to run only using binary data sets, but you can generate also netcdf data sets just for checking. This all netcdf files will be written to ncd directory, while binary data sets that model uses will be written to bin_d directory. Those are symbolic links again, as you remember. So you just then execute this script by using ncl. After you're done with that, now it's time to create initial three-dimensional data set, and that data set is going to be not on your high resolution grid, model grid, but it's going to be ERA5 resolution data set. So that way it's not going to be very large, so a model will then interpolate three-dimensional data to model grid. It doesn't do it for other two-dimensional grids, because two-dimensional grids involve like this clear separation between ocean and land, so it becomes a little bit tricky. So it's better to prepare data sets offline first, using certain some careful interpolation involving different interpolation and minding, keeping in mind that there is this land and surface. So that's why three-dimensional, they're everywhere like the same. Basically, it's just atmosphere. So it will cut through terrain, but model will find a way how to deal with that using terrain. So you need to create just initial data sets on ERA5 grid. So here you will use make 3D init non-NCAR script. So let's see what's there. So here, what you specify, basically the only thing that you specify is date, your starting date. So it's October again 21st, 12 p.m. for California case. And here we specify path to your data, ERA5 data on pressure levels, not surface. And that's basically it. Two things you need to specify. And then you just run it. It will run very quickly. So it's in CL script, you just run it. Next one is nudging data set. Nudging is very important data set. It's time evolution of three-dimensional fields that will be used to nudge our fields at the boundaries of our region, and also inside our domain, but with some smaller, not as strong nudging. So we need this script, 3D nudge not NCAR, and here it's basically the same deal. You specify it now because it's evolution data. You specify two dates, start and end. So you start on October 21st, 12 p.m. And you end on October 27, 0Z. So identifier California, and the same. You also use identifier in I probably didn't mention that in this initial data set. Yeah, you see identifier here. So this way your initial data sets, you could tell for what run you actually created them. So this one is nudge. So you need identifier. Then you specify nudge directory link, symbolic link that you created for that. So probably I didn't mention it before. You need to create symbolic link to your nudge directory. It can be pretty large data set because it's hourly, every hour, three-dimensional field. So it's stored somewhere on some other storage than your home directory and some bigger disk, and that's why you need symbolic link that points to that actual directory where your nudging data was going to be saved. And then you specify your three-dimensional ERA5 data set, which is on pressure coordinates. Okay, so, and that's basically it. And then you run it, and this will take the longest, maybe several minutes. And as a result, let's see, like for example, the result of that is executing that script, which looks at the nudge symbolic link. So you see here you create both binary and netcdf, because I requested also create netcdf. It's not necessary to create netcdf, but you create this bunch of binary nudging data sets for different times, and also it would create this this file, which is ASCII file, which is used by model for interpolation in time. So it needs to know all the information about files. So it has, this file contains some timestamps and also list of files that needs to be used for nudging. It's all, this nudging things all described in the user guide, if you've been wondering how it works. So now what is the last thing which is left to do is to create a zone data set. So it's make 3D or zone non-NCAR. And here it's monthly data set, so specification is slightly different. So here you basically specify year start, year end. So in our case it's the same year, 2021. And then you choose start months, starting months and ending. And because it's monthly data set, we need a way of interpolating. So we need to specify 1 month before and 1 month after of our period that we're simulating. So because we simulate October, in this case we specify September, starting at September and ending in November, which is 11th month. That's basically it. And then we specify this path to our, and this one is file root, not the actual file. So it's basically it will create various it will, let's see, file root. Yeah, file root, it will add year and so on, so automatically. So you just specify file root here without year. Actual file, let's see how it looks like. ls ERA5. So the actual file with the zone, you see it's underscore 2021. So you may have several years for the, if you like very long run. In our case it's only 1 year. So, but here you specify only the root and identifier again as before, and that's basically it. And then you execute the script. So let's see all the data sets that we created: ls, bin, d, all files that have underscore California in them. So this is what all these files will be used for our California case. Some of them are invariant data sets that we created before, such as length mask, length type. So we have ice mask, which we don't need, and basically I actually forgot to mention when we created this evolution, evolution for SST, sea surface temperature. We also have here, because we don't use sea ice, specify sea ice to false, and not to true. If you want sea ice too, you also specify here true, then it will create sea ice. Here this we have this ice mask because this data were also created by when I made video for NCAR based datasets. Your datasets will be look exactly the same. So so here you have snow depth, snow temperature, soil, initial conditions for soil, SST dataset, sea surface temperature, and terrain is just invariant dataset. So all these files now you complete building them, and so now you're ready to run the case. And in another video I will show how to set up name list for this case and how to run your model, and then how to convert efficiently lots of output files into netcdf. And also we will look at some results of this atmospheric river case. Okay, thanks for watching, and happy computing.